who was your inspiration? Who inspired you to want to be a goalkeeper? Because I know my time was from when I was watching Birmingham City as a kid for my sins, you know.
Yeah.
And I sort of was supporting Birmingham City when, you know, in those days, sort of mid to late 70s, we had unbelievable goalkeepers like Shilton, Clements, Phil Parks, Joe Corrigan. But again, you know, I was going to ask you. So, you know, carry on, Matt. Who was your inspiration? And who inspired you to be a goalkeeper?
So I used to play outfield as well because I was quick and I was big and I was strong. But believe it or not, I was like a big little brother. So my brother's older than me, but because he's adopted as well, he's only 5'6" with dreadlocks. I'm 6'5" and bald. So there's a big probably Arnie and Danny DeVito there. But I wanted to play and be included with my brother's mates or my cousins who are all older than me. And you know what it's like. No one wants to go in goal. So the only way I was allowed to play was if I went in goal.
Right.
And the next thing they've gone, oh, you're decent at this. So I used to play outfield for teams of my own age. I used to play for Litchfield Social, play for the Cubs in goal. I was playing at Shawbutts Lane, and our coach used to be at Wolves in the academy as an apprentice.
Okay.
Wolves scouts watched as well and said, oh, he looks decent. And then obviously I'm playing a year above myself. So they're actually looking, thinking, well, he looks good anyway. But now he's a year younger. I was a decent height, very, very thin, very skinny. So I joined Wolves at the age of 9. As I say, love Neville Southall. Used to try and roll my socks down like him and wear his shin pads, but I had no carbs. So I mean, I still got no carbs. So I mean, shin pads used to fall off. But
you missed out leg day, mate. Yeah,
you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Skip leg day. All went up top. So I used to try and look. I just used to watch. It was then VHS after VHS.
Yeah, of course.
I could literally recite all the commentary. Used to try and dive like Big Nev. He used to do everything he did, and he just a goalkeeper.
Of course, he produced some resources as well, some coaching videos.
Yeah, I had the video.
I've still got them
with Pete Bonetti. So I had the Pete Bonetti video. I had his book, so I used to watch all that, and I loved it. But it was always the case that there was never proper coaching, and everyone would try and help.
That leads me to another question then, because I was going to say to you, in your early days, because obviously we'll talk about Wolves, you know, and that's going to play a big part of our chat here. But you know, I know myself growing up as a kid, there wasn't a lot of opportunity to be coached as a goalkeeper properly. So what was your sort of first exposure to proper goalkeeper coaching, and then who worked with you through your early years to sort of develop you as a goalkeeper moving forward?
Yeah, so there was some young. So when I was young playing in the teams, there was always a dad who would take you and just try and give you what he knew and try and help you. Right. Then obviously I joined Wolves at the age of 9, but the set was nowhere like it was now. We had a goalie coach there, a guy called Bob, who's still there now, another guy called Frank, but they weren't qualified goalie coaches. Then we had a guy who played a bit of Sunday League and talked a little bit of the W shape and a few techniques.
Right.
But it was a massive moment for me. Was one really identifying with some black goalkeepers in David James and Shaka Hislop.
Yeah, of course.
So there were no black goalkeepers then, but then I watched them and they were big inspirations for me. So I used to watch them, watch how they played, their athleticism, how they went, and they were built more like me. So I used to try and model myself on them. And then Martin Thomas came in at 14 years of age to Wolverhampton Wanderers. And that for me was one of the biggest pivotal moments because one, he was fantastic. And I remember saying embarrassing little things to him. And I still say this to Martin now when I see him around, and he's a great help for me. I said, I bet you're an amazing dad. I used to say that when I was a kid. He used to put on sessions, and I couldn't wait to go training. And I didn't feel any pressure. It was just fun. And I just got it. And he'd pick up little bits and the way he asked you questions. And he just
Matt, did you find that important? You know, obviously you just alluded to the fact that the session was enjoyable, it was fun. Did you find that you learned more by that having that in kind of environment to work in?
Yeah, because before it just seemed so much pressure. You'd play and go. I can remember still as a kid coming off the pitch crying. I'd have saved shot after shot after shot because my team was rubbish, but I loved playing for them. I didn't want to go and play for the top team. I played for Litchfield, and we were poor, but I still see the Sunday League manager now, amazing. But some of the lads blaming you for a goal, or I'd let a goal in the final. I got player of the tournament, but let a bad goal in the final. Sam Thompson Yates chipped me. I can still remember it now, and I was devastated.
Hang on a minute, you got chipped, man,
in 5-a-side goals. I went down because I went down too early.
That shouldn't be happening.
Exactly. So I went down too early.
About your position in here, mate.
Well, going down too early, didn't transfer the pressure tone, and I went down too early, and blah blah blah. Made the mistake in the final. We lost 1-0, and all my mates looking at me, and I felt like they blamed me. And it's so hard in goal because any mistake is punished. You know, you get better with age and goal experience. You have to experience situations. But I just felt that Martin took all that pressure away from me. And also, believe it or not, when I was younger, I was a late developer. So up to about 9 or 10, I was quite big. Then I slowed right down. My voice didn't break till I was 15. And there was a big goalkeeper there who was about 13 or 14 called Steve Spittle. A lovely lad, but he was 6'4", 6'5". At the age of 12, could touch the crossbar, big beard, hairy chest, could boom the ball a mile.
Yeah.
But I was probably technically a better goalie. But Spittle used to get more than minutes, or he used to start. So Martin Thomas tells a story about how he came in, coached us, and they walked off, and he went back into Chris Evans and said, "Oh, the academy manager, you have got a goalkeeper there. Yeah, he's good." And he said, "Yeah, which one do you think I think's a goalie?" So they're all obviously Steve Spittle, 6'4". He said, "Well, for me, your goalie's Matt Murray. He's a catcher, not a snatcher." The way
Martin had recognised your talent. And
straight away at 14.
Technically, as a more proficient goalkeeper.
Yeah, so obviously they couldn't look at my parents, and they couldn't see genetically how I would be.
Yeah,
but he felt the way I moved, my athleticism, my ability to learn, my technical things. And if I grew, then great. And at 6, I went away in the summer, wasn't 6 foot, came back, voice had broken, started to grow. And then that's when I started to play more minutes. I might play up the age groups and things like that. So Martin Thomas was huge for me.
Was Martin full time at the club?
No,
or was he just part time?
He was part-time, but he'd do a Monday and a Tuesday. But then again, being Martin, how amazing he was, he then used to put on a session for us on a Sunday after our matches and give us an hour on the grass of 1-to-1, literally 1-to-2 or 1-to-1 training.